Good morning, everybody. This is April with the Resellers Learning Curve. Welcome. Good morning. Today is Wednesday, July the 11th. So I cannot believe it. We're halfway through the month of July. If you're a reseller, that is super good news. This is super happy time because July can be brutal in the resale world, especially if you sell clothes. July can be really, really tough. In the summer if you're a clothing seller. And I know this because at this point I've been through, this is probably summer number 4 or 5 that I've been through as a reseller, and I know that June and July can be very, very tough. I had a strong June. I actually had a really good June, and quite frankly, thus far, I cannot complain about July either. I know we're only 11 days into the month, but the month has started out strong for me. I want to say the first week was really sparse. The first week was tough. What I noticed about eBay, and this is just my theory and opinion, and there's always lots of theories and opinions going around, but I noticed that right before my monthly invoice is due every month, my sales tend to really pop. It's the strangest thing. Leading up to the 15th, I say the 10th, the 11th, the 12th, 13th, maybe even the 8th and the 9th, but sometime leading up to the 15th, my sales pop without fail all the time, every time, and that's a little bizarre to me, but I don't question these things. However, it's been a while since I've uploaded a video, so I wanted to get that done. And I also wanted to mention really briefly that even though I don't upload videos very often, I shoot YouTube videos all the time, probably 2, 3, sometimes 4 a week. I don't upload them because I can be what I like to call hilariously awkward, in the sense that strange things happen while I'm shooting YouTube videos. Just to give you a couple of quick examples, last week or earlier this week, I want to say last week, I was shooting a video. I was 3/4 of the way through the video, and I sneezed or coughed or something, and my nose started running. And it was hilarious because I just stopped and I look at the camera and I'm looking at my nose and I'm just like, really? This is what's gonna happen right now. So I didn't want to like stop and clean my nose and then start back talking, because it was bad, because like I said, I'm hilariously awkward. Another time, and this was about 2 weeks ago, I was shooting a video parked right in front of my building, and a bird landed on the roof of my car and just started pecking away, peck. And it was the most bizarre thing because I didn't know exactly what it was. Initially, I thought that maybe there was some sort of bizarre isolated rain event. So I was looking around like, what is that? And the whole time I'm trying to shoot a video, but I'm really distracted by the pecking. I get out and there's a bird. He's landing on top of my car. He's just pecking away. Excuse me. And this had went on for some time in the video. So needless to say, once I got out of the car and investigated that and got back in the car, I didn't finish the video. I shared that so you'll know that if videos aren't getting uploaded, it's not because I'm not trying. I do try, but my life is really unpredictable, it's really crazy, and I'm hilariously awkward. So sometimes things happen and I'm just like, I can't upload that. I also, because of who I am and how my life is set up, I am choosing not to, at this time or any time in the foreseeable future, purchase equipment for the purpose of uploading YouTube videos. I'm choosing not to do that, and the reason is because I never set out to be a content creator per se. I create content because I enjoy it, because I really love the guys, all of you. I love you guys. I was gonna say the guys, but I didn't mean males, I meant everyone. So I love the people that watch my channel and benefit from my channel, and the people who watch videos and then go out even though they have no reselling experience and they start flipping things immediately. I love that. I love that. That's why I do this. So I can continue to do what I do without buying video equipment. And quite frankly, I can't afford it, nor do I feel like I need it. And this isn't what I do. This is sharing my, as they say in the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous, experience, strength, and hope. My experiences in reselling, my strength, which is, I think, tied to my experiences, although I have to say I get stronger every day as a reseller, and my hope. And my hope is that I can continue to sustain my life and the life of my family from the proceeds that I make from reselling. And I hope that you can do the same. I hope that you are able to make a go at this thing. One thing I was thinking recently, and this is another reason I don't upload videos, is because I get distracted and I go off on these tangents. But one thing I was thinking recently is that I believe it's super, super hard to make it as a reseller if you start out with the goal of making money. If your primary objective and focus is making money, I don't know if you will be able to do this in such a way and at such a pace to make a real go at it. And the reason that I say this is because this is the sort of thing that you have to have some sort of passion for. The hours are long. The pay isn't always great, but even when the pay isn't great, you still got to hustle and you still got to get it done. So I believe that reselling is one of those things that you have to have a true interest in, and you have to have a true passion for in order to make it work. And that's why I believe I have continually gotten better year after year after year. The reason is because, quite frankly, I continue to love it even more year after year after year. I really, really enjoy reselling. I really do. Nothing makes me happier than to take my lunch break super early in the morning. I take my lunch break when people are having breakfast, like super early in the morning. And I hit these streets. Oh my gosh, do I hit these streets? I hit them so hard. I can sometimes do 4 to 5 thrift stores in my lunch break. 4 to 5, depending on where I go. I have 2 different directions that I go. If I go to Boardman, I can do Boardman Goodwill, Boardman Salvation Army. On my way down Market Street, I can hit Penny Pinchers, which is a consignment store. I can hit Fish Samaritan House, which is a thrift store. I can hit Miss Pat's, which is a thrift store. And right around the corner, close to my house, I can hit St. Vincent de Paul, which is a thrift store. So all of those are, if I just go to like one place and then make my way back home, I can like pop into all of those places. And that's pretty incredible, I think. So if I do a quick walk around the store and I don't see anything and I want to keep it moving, that's what I do. I just hit a bunch of stores, and a lot of days I might hit 4 stores. I might buy no things. That happens. But to me, I feel that that shows my growth, because when I first started reselling, I always wanted to buy something. I always felt like I had to buy something. And even if there was nothing that needed to be bought, I would still buy something. But today, where I'm at, I don't do that anymore. There's no reason for me to do it. I don't feel any need to do it, and I don't do it anymore. If there is nothing that is going to take the money in my wallet or the money in my account and make it more money, then I don't need it. I'm not taking any chances. I'm not guessing. I'm not crossing my fingers and hoping. If it's not going to definitely make me more money, I'm not buying it. Period. Point blank. End of story. That's just, because I've been doing this too long to be experimenting to a great extent or buying things that I'm not sure about. So I don't. To that end, I wanted to go over a very, very quick sales update, because I haven't really done that in a while, and my sales have been awesome lately. They've been awesome. Since Sunday, my sales have been really, really strong. But I just wanted to quickly share a few of the things that I've sold since the weekend, because I think some of them are interesting, and I'm not going to get into great detail, but I do think that it's worth noting. Just quickly glancing through these, I will tell you that of the items that I've sold, over half of them are non-clothing items. That's the number one thing that you want to keep in mind and know about reselling, is that if you, like I said, if you are a clothing seller, the summer can get very slow. As such, I tend to list way less clothing in the summer. I just do. I list less clothing because I know that people aren't going to start buying it until like late July, early August. Like back to school season is nice if you sell clothing, but before that it can be a tough struggle. So I say all of that to say that my clothing sales have been, they've been so-so. I haven't sold any amazing clothing things, but I have sold some. I see a coat that sold for $50, a dress that sold for $40 that's being returned because it doesn't fit. There was a hat, one of my Bailey of Hollywood hats. I took an offer. The buyer left positive feedback, super happy. There was a robe or a nightgown, a pair of shoes that I took an offer on, a shirt that the person hasn't paid, and a Victoria's Secret bra that was new at tags. I don't sell used undergarments, so if I ever mention that I sold any sort of undergarment, just assume that it's new, because I don't even like listing used vintage things if they touch, you know, parts unseen. So if I say that I list like a bra, then, or I sold a bra, just know that it's a new bra. So those are the clothing items that I've listed. Those are the clothing items that I've sold the past week. Most notable, and the one that I did not mention, is a pair of pajama pants, Hill Ditch and Key. I have not talked about this brand in a while. It's not a brand that you're going to see very often. You will see it if you are selling clothes for long enough, because I've come across it a handful of times, not much. But these pajama pants are from the best haul of my career, which was about 3.5 years ago, I believe. And to this day, I'm glad that I knew just enough to get all the things that I got, because it's the haul where I had all the Ralph Lauren Black Label shirts that were essentially new without tags. There was 3 Hill Ditch and Key pajama sets that sold for $150 plus. I sold a pair of pajama pants, these yellow ones, to one of the guys who bought the sets. I made my money back from that haul so long ago that these pants, here's the funny thing, these pants were actually in my home office. I was getting ready to pull and purge them. I was getting ready to pull them because it's been 3 years. Those pants sold for $54.19. What? What? A pair of pajama pants sold for $54? I don't know if I looked for them at the storage unit, but before I had to ship these, for some reason, I was doing some work in my home office, and I found them in my purge pile because I was actually getting things out. I was going through my listings, making sure the items were ended, deleted, whatever the case may needed to be, and I was dropping off donations. So these pants were in that pile of things that were going to get donated, and they sold for $54. Super awesome. So that's clothing stuff. As far as non-clothing stuff, I sold 2 Ralph Lauren micro mink blankets. These I picked up at TJ Maxx, Marshalls at the beginning, I want to say, of this current clearance season, but really, really early in the season when somebody gave me a heads up that things were starting to be marked down. I actually picked up a lot of bedding when I went to Marshalls and TJ Maxx earlier this year. So I sold those. It looks like they sold for about $45 each. And I know that I paid $15 each for those. So gross profit would be about 60 bucks on 2, which is not bad if you invested 30 and you made 60. But that's not counting fees and shipping. But she did pay shipping, so it's not like I came out of pocket for shipping. Another thing that I sold that I thought was awesome, and I posted this in Tanya's Thrifty Treasures group, Thrifty Jewelry Treasures group. I sold a lot of Napier Disney, I think it's pronounced Napier, Disney earrings and a pin. It was 3 pair of earrings and a pin. I picked them up for $1 each, so I invested a total of $4, and those sold for $59.99 within 5 days. I listed these in Tanya's group, and someone wasn't able to find the sold listing even though they were searching for it. Weird thing. And I believe this is the universe blessing me in a way, but no one has ever been able to find all of my sold listings. And I've known that this was a thing for quite some time because Deb, when we would do the reseller stew, she would go to my store and she would click sold, and it would show her literally 1/3 or less of the total things that I've sold. And in order for me to get her the information of what I sold, I would have to send her the links. Once I sent her the links, the item would pull up, it would show it's sold, it would show the information. But my items, for whatever reason on eBay, people are not able to see everything that I sold. And like I said, I feel like that's a blessing in disguise, because making YouTube videos is really, really difficult for me. Even though I love to help people, I'm still a relatively private person. And when it comes to my business, I share so much. I share so much. I don't want to share everything. And people are always asking me my store name. And at this point, it does me no good to not share it, because people, I mean, if you want to know what my store is, it's not hard to find. All you do is look at my videos, pick a random item, search that item, find it on eBay, there's my store. But I have 200 followers on my eBay store. And so for me, the problem in that is that if, say I have an item with a lot of interest, or that I think has a lot of interest, and it has like 8 watchers, and I'm making business decisions about what to do with that item based on the number of watchers, but it turns out that all of those watchers aren't actually buyers. Some of those watchers are actually YouTube viewers who are just kind of watching things in my store. Like, that can really hinder me in making the kind of decisions that I need to make. So that's the reason that I don't publicize my store. I also don't publicize my store because I don't make YouTube videos to sell things. I do not make YouTube videos to sell things. I sell things just fine without having to advertise on YouTube. So I try to keep them separate as much as possible. It doesn't always work out, but just so you know, if you go follow my eBay store, you won't be able to see everything that I sold. You won't. But if you want to know what I sold, you can ask me what I sold, and I'll be more than happy to make a sales update video like I am right now. So I wanted to throw that out there because I've gotten feedback. I've gotten lots of weird feedback from people about what I sell and what I do and how successful I actually am. And number one, that's part of people's problem, is it's none of their business what I sell and how much I make and what my margins are, or any of that. So if I share it with you, I'm sharing it simply because I want to, and I have nothing to hide. I'm fully transparent when it comes to my business. If I lose money on an item, I'm going to say I lost money on that item, or I barely broke even on that item. I'll share that. I have no reason to fabricate sales. I have no reason to inflate the value of what I'm doing. What I'm doing is what I'm doing, and what I'm doing is I'm doing me. I'm doing me. I'm staying in my lane. I'm doing me. I'm minding my own business. And that's working out well for me. Life is good. Another thing that I sold, a Villaware Pizel maker. Picked it up for $5 at Goodwill. That sold for $69.99 on the 9th, so Monday. Another thing that sold is a My Child doll. This was a boy doll in a baseball outfit. I had a lot of interest, people wanting to buy just the outfit. No, we're not doing none of that. But that doll sold for $95, and that's an international order going overseas via global shipping. Another thing that sold that I took an offer on just because it weighed 50 million pounds and it was about to break a shelf in my storage unit, a JVC JR-S400 Mark II vintage 4-channel 70-watt stereo receiver. That's a mouthful. I took an offer of $125 on that. It's going out via FedEx today. I didn't get the label printed until last night. But like I said, I took an offer. I think this thing was around my house for an hour. Not an hour. An hour. I think it was around my house for a year before it even got listed. It was around literally forever before it got listed. And once it got listed, it's like I moved it around the storage unit, but it weighed so much. You know, those old school electronics, that's the reason people like them. It's because they just don't make them like that anymore. So the JVC receiver, it's been around forever. It took forever to get listed. I took an offer of $125. Another thing that I sold, which I think is one of the more interesting things, I picked up a vintage Zippo lighter. On the front of it was a Seabees, Navy, U.S. Navy Seabees seal, and it was from the Vietnam War era. I picked this Zippo lighter up for $5.99. It sold for $59.99 the same day. What? $5.99 into $59.99 same day. Can't beat it. I was super excited about the Zippo lighter. I sold my last 2 boxes of Princess House plates for $25 a box because one buyer wanted both, and quite frankly, I'm selling all the things right now. I just want them all to go. So I was more than happy to let those go at $25 a box. I paid $4.99 a box. I made my money from the Princess House lot literally from selling a ladle, like a spoon, like 1 spoon. I made all of my money from all of that stuff from selling 1 spoon. So the bowls and the plates and all of that stuff has essentially been profit. I took an offer for a baseball glove of $40. Wasn't a super special glove. 40 bucks. I accepted an offer last night on my vintage Nike Cavs color outfit, and the reason is because LeBron is gone. Interest in the Cavs is about to be probably a little bit lower than normal. So I took an offer of $55 on that. It was a jogging suit, which means I paid $6 for it at Goodwill. And I think that is it. That is the last of my interesting sales that I find to be notable. So the next thing I want to talk about is summer sourcing. Basically, these streets is dry. The thrift stores are super dry. The only hope that I have of making anything happen is yard sales, garage sales, estate sales. And I have been pretty hardcore about those this year, even though in years past I've said that I've hated them. This year, they've actually worked out well for me. I'm gonna try to stick with as many church sales as I can find, because it just seems to me that my dollar goes farther. They're more fun. People are nice. If I can find more estate sales, I'll check those out, since I have made friends in the estate sale business. And I think that that's actually going to long term be a really awesome thing for me. Next is what I'm looking for. I always jot down a little agenda so that I can somewhat stay on track. Right now I am trying to find FBA inventory, which is proving difficult. So I'm doing a lot of merchant fulfilled. I'm diving deeper into books. I am experimenting, basically rebuilding my Amazon business from scratch, or my Amazon side of the business from scratch, because I haven't done it in a while. And I think that's about it. So I hope that you guys are having an awesome week. My week is pretty amazing, especially when my business is good, my life is good, because my business is my passion. It really is. This is my passion. It's what I love doing. Nothing excites me like reselling. My co-workers know this. My family knows this. My friends know this. Nothing excites me like reselling. So when business is good, I'm good. And business is really good right now. As far as July goes, I am not the person to be putting in complaints. I'm just not. There are people who have way more right to complain than me right now, because my sales are good. I think eBay, when I looked this morning, I was printing labels. I think it said $1,400 for the week, which for me is amazing. It's amazing, quite frankly. If I could maintain this pace, per week, I would actually be doing better than average for any month outside of the fourth quarter. So on that note, I hope you guys have a very strong end of the week. I want you to remember, if it's not listed, it can't sell. And I will talk to you very soon. All right, guys, be easy. Bye.